Welcome back. Today I'm covering the July 11th slate for the basketball tournament on FanDuel and DraftKings. So first, I think your two top players are Marcus Keene and Joe Johnson. They both have scoring potential to score at least 20 to 25 real points in a game, and I think the rest of the stats will just fill in later. If either of these players hit 25 actual points, I think they're getting 40 fantasy points. So it's easy to lock them in at the top of your lineup. Now, your second tier guards are John Elmore and Eric Devendorf, two different styles of play. Elmore is a chuck and pray type player, as you can see by the stats. 3 of 6, all 6, or that's his brother. 3 of 13, 11 of those 13 shots were threes. That's the first game. Second game, 2 for 10, 6 of those 10 shots were threes. So, if he hits all of his threes, I think there's a lot of value there. But since he wasn't hitting his threes in those games, we can see 10 assists. So he's pretty consistent at passing. He just needs to hit more threes. Now, Devendorf, on the other hand, I like because he's a good scorer. But if he fills up some other stats, he can give you a good score. So he had 3 steals, 1 assist, 1 rebound, 21 points. Good game from him. Equals 29 points. Easily, if he fills in the other stats besides scoring, he can give you points. Now, under these guys, I don't really like Pujeter all that much. He's kind of expensive on both sites. Thompson, if I like him if Diamond Stone is out, but if Diamond Stone's back, I don't really like him at 18 on FanDuel, 7,200. I don't really like him on DraftKings either. Next, I like Remy Abel. Now, he's cheaper on both sites, but the thing that interests me is the fact that they're playing Boheim's Army, which means that Sideline Cancer might have to put out 3 shooters at least and have 2 bigs inside the zone. So that means that they might play Abel more to break the zone, which means that Abel could hit value easier. And in the games that Abel has played, he's played 22 minutes, which isn't too great, but 17 points in that. He's been productive in his minutes. Again, 25 minutes, 17 points. He seems like a pretty productive player when he's on the court. So I think he's going to be on the court more this game. I like Abel. Diamond Stone. So the fantasy points per game, they take into account games played, but they didn't take into account that he was out. So Diamond Stone actually had 32.2 fantasy points in his first game, and he sat out the next game, so it was 0. So I think their model is ranking him lower than he should be. Either way, I think Diamond Stone has a lot of value on both DraftKings and FanDuel, and if he plays, you should plug him in. Trish is interesting because he didn't have the best game against Men of Mackey. 9 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal. Not the best, but he did play 24 minutes, and he has a lot of potential. At $15, it's not too much to pay up for. 6,000 on DraftKings. He's easily a good plug-and-play player. Now, Andrew White. Most people would say that 5 points, 6 rebounds is kind of fluky, 1 steal, not the best, but 22 minutes, I like him on Boheim's Army, and at his price, he interests me. Now, for the cheap play options, Odd Elmore, he's good because he plays minutes, but he doesn't really do much in those minutes, so he's the other Elmore brother, number 24. He played 20 minutes, 9 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. Not bad. This was his first game. He had 15 fantasy points. This was the second game, which he actually played more, but produced less. So he played 28 minutes, 3 points, which isn't as great, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, and a turnover. Not horrible, but as you can see, he plays, and he's priced very cheaply. So $10 on FanDuel, $4,009 on DraftKings. You can easily plug him in if you need a value play for paying up for the top players. I also like John Gillen. Now, Gillen played 21 minutes the first game. Now, he didn't do too well. 4 points, 2 assists, 1 turnover. Not the best. But if you consider he played 20 minutes and he's 7 on FanDuel, 3,600 on DraftKings, and you want to hope and pray for maybe 12, 13, or 14 out of him, it's easily doable. Now, Browning's very interesting because he was hurt last game. So this 6.8 is actually, he played one game, not two. 13.4, I believe. So he had 13.4 in 3 quarters on Heard That, which takes a lot of shots. He's at $6 on FanDuel. Not so great on DraftKings. Well, 4,200 isn't bad, but like he's not John Gillen's price. But he's still decent on DraftKings. FanDuel, I really, really like him as a good cheap play. You could put him at $6, and this is if he plays. Check his status before. You put him at $6, then pay up for maybe 2 or 3 of these guys on FanDuel. All right, so let's go to the lineups now. So, for example, if you wanted to play Browning, you plug him in. 5. You got 5 spots left, and you got $94. So that means you have 19 per average player. Basically, you could pick 2 or 3 of these guys and not have a problem. But I'm not going to do that. Let's make a base lineup. So I said I like Keane. Johnson's interesting, but we're not going to put him in. Dante Green, I do like him, but not at this price. I'll show you his stats. So he had 4 steals, which is kind of inflating his fantasy points per game. This field goals, threes, and free throws adds up to 16. 16, 9, and 4. I think he's not going to do that again. He was kind of grabbing all the boards. I don't think that's going to happen again. So let's put Devendorf and one more Stone. So if you do this, you have 14 left per player, and you could easily fit some extra cheap players in. Let's see if there's some cheap guards that I like. Ott Elmore, I do like. Yeah, you can make it work. Now on DraftKings, let's see how this works out. Gillen's very cheap, so let's put in Gillen. You have a lot for the rest of the lineup. At shooting guard, I would consider playing Creek, because he's also going to get to shoot a lot in against Boheim's Army, and he's priced pretty cheap. Power forward, I like Stone's a center. I like Stone on both sides, but especially on DraftKings. Now, I also like Dante Green on DraftKings. So I plugged in 4 players. You got 7,000 for the rest of the lineup. If you play Gillen, you could choose to not play him too, and that's completely fine. You can pay up for Johnson. You can pay up for Keane. Thompson, if Stone is out, Thompson's a really good play on both sides. Alright, that's going to do it for my video. Please like, share, subscribe, and tune in for the next one.